This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Hey Toronto, this is Ed Sheeran.
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
This is Adele.
This is Madonna.
It's Michael Bublé, and you're listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep Show. It's fun. They're amazing.
It is so good to hear your voice again, even though it's still not quite back to 100%. It's a little muffled. I'm so glad you're back, and I hope you're back to stay.
Oh, I am so happy to be back. I got to tell you, I was warned that once the kids go to school, I'm going to be sick all the time. The kids are going to be sick all the time.
Who warned you again? Steph.
Oh, yeah, producer Steph. Yeah. And everyone who's a parent who just knows.
Right.
But it's been like back to back. Like just when I thought everybody was getting better, nope, everybody's sick again, including myself. I lost my voice. And I actually put it out on Instagram and I asked people, so what do you think I sound like? Because it was so bad.
Your voice was so frail last week.
Yeah. Getting a lot of comments. Gurdeep impersonating you was one of them. You know when you do that voice that you do to impersonate me?
Coming up on the Pooja and Gurdeep Show.
Yes. So apparently that's what I sounded like.
If you build it, they will come.
Someone wrote, me in my 20s ordering McDonald's at 3 a.m.
Or like the guy who works the drive-thru on Simpsons. Can I take your order, Mr. Simpson?
That's exactly it. And then someone wrote, sounds like Marlon Brando waiting for you to make an offer to Gurdeep that he can't refuse.
Oh,
Wow.
you were the Godfather.
Yes.
That's so true.
Yes. And so anyway, it seems to be back and holding, at least for now.
Do you think the Godfather was also drinking warm tea with Manuka honey?
It works. That stuff works like a charm. Everybody's sick right now. And I feel like when you're sick, sometimes you do things to like bring you comfort. And I noticed that I do this one thing. I've been doing it since I was a kid. It's a little weird. So
you? A little weird?
I know.
No.
I know. It's hard to believe. So what I do is when I'm about to either like nap because I'm resting or go to sleep, I will breathe into my pillow, like my hot breath into my pillow, and then I rest my face on the hot pillow now.
What?
Yeah. Is that weird?
That's super weird.
Yeah.
This is, my head was going a lot of places. I didn't know what you were going to say. You could have given me 1,000 guesses. Breathing hot air into your pillow and then putting your head on it.
Yeah, that it's just warm on my face in that spot, and the rest of the pillow's cold.
But don't you have to keep doing that every like 8 seconds?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. You do it like 3 or 4 times.
This sounds less like what you do when you're sick and more like why you got sick.
It's possible. Like I was trying to think, like what might have started it, and I think that when we were a kid, we were that house where you did not play with the thermostat, like you were not allowed to touch it.
Right.
And it was so cold in my house all the time to save on heating that I think I was just like I wanted to be warm, so I would just blow into the pillow, and then I would feel warm on my face.
But now your house is at regular temperature.
Yes, and I still
now you control the thermostat.
I still do. I bet you do things. I bet you don't even know it.
I can't top that.
No, when you're sick, I have a feeling. This is just a guess. I feel like you start to talk in a baby voice. I feel like that might be you.
Well, I live alone with my dog, so like when I talk to her, it's always baby voice, whether I'm healthy or sick.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So
but
it probably comes out.
Mine's more like if fetal position and like making coffee, like be my little spoon. But isn't that pretty normal? I feel like that's what everyone does.
You know what you should do? You should try blowing hot air into coffee to pooch and then rest your face on her and see what happens.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
It's so nice to be back. I was off sick. I know everybody is sick right now. And I notice I do something really weird when I'm sick.
So weird.
It's so weird. I know, but I've been doing this since I was a kid. I will blow hot air into my pillow and then rest my cheek on it. And it's just like it gives me comfort when I'm sick.
Don't you have to keep re-upping that like every 8 seconds? Because it...
Got to do it a few times, but it feels good every time. I'm sick.
I actually think this is what got you sick, doing this. All right, so what is the weird thing you do when you're sick? Bonnie from Etobicoke.
I do the opposite of Pooja.
Oh.
I move around the pillow because I want it to be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, like the cool side. Do you do that when you're sick?
Yeah.
Because you're probably warm from being sick. You probably have a fever, you're feverish, so you want to actually feel cool.
That's right.
Yeah, I still can't figure out why you want it hot when you're already hot and
Because
sweaty.
I'm always cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, how about maybe invest in a heating pad instead of blowing into your pillow?
But then it's all over heat. I just
Oh,
need a little
no,
bit on
thank
my
you.
cheek. Bonnie, I'm glad you can relate, but the opposite.
Okay.
Have a good one.
You too.
Pooja's just back from a long stint on the sick bay, in the sick bay. You do something really weird. You just told us when you're sick, you blow hot air into your pillow like, and then put your face on it because you like the feeling of hot pillow on your face when you're sick.
When you said that, it just sounded very, very attractive. Like, I can't wait to do that.
Oh.
Can't wait to do that again.
You're the only one in the room who liked it.
We want to know, do you do something weird when you're sick to bring you comfort? Let's go to Chelsea in Binbrook. What's it for you?
I actually use a heating pad on my back, and it makes me feel better.
Heating pad on your back, and that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter like what ailment you have. You still just put it on your back and you feel better?
Yeah, or my stomach.
Oh, interesting. Even if you have like a cold or a stuffy nose or it works on your back or your stomach. Interesting.
Or on your cheek.
I'm sick right now.
Pooja puts a heating pad on her face.
That would be good, but it'd probably prevent me from breathing.
Well, don't people who are smarter than me always say like everything's related to your gut? So maybe like warming up that area. I mean, if that's the factory where everything's happening, it makes sense that you tend to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chelsea, I'm going to try it.
Yeah,
do it.
We're all going to chip in and get you a heating pad for Christmas, Pooja, so you can stop blowing into your pillow. Chelsea, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Hope you feel better.
Thanks. Bye.
Now, we want to know, do you do something weird when you're sick to bring you comfort? For me, I blow hot air into my pillow, and we're getting a lot of texts on this.
Yeah, a lot of good texts coming in. This one says, I like to lie in a tub full of hot water in pitch dark. I find the sensory deprivation helps me to relax. That's actually pretty good.
I want to try it.
That's just relaxing. That's nice. Maybe light a candle? Or no, I guess that defeats the purpose of sensory deprivation.
You got to be dark. Okay, I talk to myself whenever I'm alone in my room and make whining sounds.
That's actually relatable. Fetal position?
Yeah.
Just like,
I've done that.
Me too.
And nobody feels sorry for you.
Yeah. I'm a whiner when I'm sick, I'll admit it. I love this text. Manpreet from Bowmanville texting in saying, when I'm sick, I talk to the parts of my body that aren't feeling well. Like right now, I have a scratchy voice, so I've been scolding my throat for being sore. Bad throat. Why are you sore?
You come back. Stop doing what you're doing. You know I don't like that.
You do your job and talk.
Manpreet from Bowmanville, I love the honesty.
The Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI.
How do you feel about facial hair? Well, today is National No Beard Day. No Beard Day. Not a great day for this because beards, they have been in vogue for, I'm going to say about 5 or 6 years now, and they are still, like beards and facial hair, made a strong comeback. You see them everywhere.
I like facial hair. I don't like long beards.
You like a maintained beard.
Yeah, and I don't like no beards. A lot of people still look very babyish.
Right.
When you fully shave, it's like, a beard can, and even you just a little bit of facial hair can completely change the way a person looks. And then they shave it off, you're like, whoa, what happened?
It's like their face is naked.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, because beards, there's a lot of variety of beard. How do you feel about a chin strap?
No.
The year is 1996.
No, I didn't like it in
And you're seeing
96
a
either.
chin
No.
Yeah, the chin strap's pretty stupid.
No.
What about a little mutton chop action?
No, that Elvis is really, and Wolverine can only pull that off.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even Elvis in the latter days, it was not looking great. What about a goatee? The year is 1998.
In 1998, some people could pull it off, but not anymore.
What about the little soul patch?
No, never. That was never a good look ever.
Oh man, I grew a beard in COVID.
Yeah,
when
really?
I was doing the news. Yeah, I was bored, and I'm like, I can't. I'm like, all you're allowed to do is golf, ski, and grow facial hair.
Wow.
Those are the 3 things you're allowed to do. So I grew a beard, and I had one on the news. In fact, this isn't the best. No, this isn't the best picture.
Was it like a big full beard?
No, here I'm going to show you a picture right now.
Could you beat it or braid it? Oh, that's not bad. That's just like scruff.
No, it was longer than this.
Was
This is just
it?
the picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
See,
It
like
was-
that I don't mind. Like when you have like the scruff that's between like almost starting a beard and 5 o'clock shadow, somewhere in between there. That's not bad. I don't mind that.
It's got to be maintained.
Right, but you can't, when you start beating it and braiding it, that's a lot of work. There's a lot of leftovers in it.
Where are you? Yeah, I do have a buddy. My best friend has a massive beard, and there's times we're out eating, and I'm like, dude,
There's a wing in your beard.
There's rigatoni. Yeah, there's a full ravioli in your beard.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
Snake yoga, anyone?
No thanks.
Yeah, this is a real thing. You've heard of like goat yoga, puppy yoga. It looks adorable. I've never tried it.
And so calming.
Yeah,
Right?
like you're in your in your downward dog and there's a little puppy on your back, or like the goats look super cute. There's also hot yoga. There's all these different kinds of yoga. There is now snake yoga. This is a real thing people are doing in order to face their fears.
So like if you have a fear, just add yoga to it and it makes it better?
In theory, yeah, why not? Actually, yeah, you could
Like-
probably take this to some other places.
This sounds terrifying, and I don't know how it's supposed to help you overcome your fear if you're surrounded by snakes.
Because yoga involves a lot of deep breaths and relaxation. I don't know about you, I would not be able to relax if there was like a python around my ankles or
Or
something. I don't-
even close your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm even like, forget a python, even like a rattlesnake. I don't want that anywhere near me.
Okay, so if yoga is the answer to all your fears, then why don't we just start applying it to like everything? Like, ooh, buried alive yoga.
Oh, that sounds
Right?
even
Just
worse.
everybody's
Give me
buried
the-
alive.
Give me the snake yoga.
And we do some yoga positions while we're buried alive.
That would be yours? Is buried alive your
Yeah.
fear?
Yeah.
Okay, mine would be then shark yoga. You're doing yoga in a cage underwater with sharks around you.
So it sounds very, very relaxing. Oh, perpetual hiccups yoga.
You have weird fears, man.
Isn't that everybody's fear?
No.
You'll have hiccups and they'll never end?
No, something more common like heights. How about
Oh.
like CN Tower glass floor yoga?
Oh my goodness.
Go do it up there. Edge walk yoga.
Oh, no. No. There is nothing relaxing about this.
Oh, the perpetual hiccups don't sound so bad now, huh?
I'll take it.
The Pooja and Gurdeep Podcast.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Okay, so there's a new Gen Z trend that is turning off potential employers, and I can see why. Steph, your kids are almost, your daughter's like a few years away from maybe getting her first job.
Yeah, actually, it was funny. We went to our bakery yesterday, and then I asked him, like, when can she start working? He's like, probably 15. I'm like, great, February. You're taking her.
There we go. Okay, well, you tell me this. If your daughter went for a job interview, what do you think the bakery owner would think if your daughter brought you with her on the job interview?
They'd probably be like, great, 2 for 1.
No.
One paycheck,
You're
2
not
for 1.
working. You're just
Oh.
a supervisor. So Gen Zs, there's a trend now where Gen Zs are bringing their parents to a job interview. And it's
What?
turning off potential. Like, that would be a complete turnoff because it shows lack of independence, lack of independent thought,
But what is the parent doing? They're just sitting there watching them?
support, like maybe stepping in if they need help with a question. I don't know. But they're there with them in the interview.
Do I get a participation ribbon after?
That's another Gen Z trend, isn't it? And I'm wondering if you're someone who like hires people, if you're in a position to hire someone, how do you feel about this? Is it a turnoff? Would you hire someone who is otherwise a good candidate but brought their mom and dad with them to the interview?
I know. It makes them look like they're not going to be able to do the job because they need their parent beside them. Like, what does that? It doesn't show that you're very independent.
No. And like, I don't want to put it all on Gen Z. Like, is this also a function of parents enabling this for their kids?
But why as a parent, would you want to go to the interview with them? Let them handle it on their own, since they're going to have to go to the job if they get it
And if
on
you're
their own.
if you're a parent of a Gen Z, you didn't grow up with this.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. We've all had parents do stuff for us that they probably shouldn't have. Like, full confession right here. My mom wrote my speech for me in grade 4. Like, my mom wrote my speech
Wow.
for me in grade 4. Like,
Yeah, see, I didn't have that. Both of my parents didn't speak English very well. So that wouldn't have gone over very well.
like
I
we've
think
all
my-
had parents help us with our homework, science project. Like, they've all...
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No? Never?
My sister, who's 10 years older, helped me out with my homework and stuff. And so did my brother. He's a bit older. But I think that's why I'm so independent, is because at 7, my parents both worked and they were like, here's the key, go home after school and wait at home till your older siblings come home at 7. And I look at my kids now, I'm like, you can't even do that now at 14 and like 12.
Right. At some
Yeah.
point, you got it. Like, I have like cousins' kids who are like in university now, and they're in their 20s, and my cousin, their parents are still booking their like doctor's appointments for them at university. I'm like, you're at Western, you're at Mac. Like, just go see the campus doctor.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone. You can do it on an app. You can book it on an app.
I
Like,
know,
why do you
it's
need
so much
your
easier
parents
now.
who are busy to do this for? Like, book your own appointment if
Yeah.
you are living the whole point of university is you live alone, you gain independence.
Yes, I couldn't wait to get out so I didn't have to be under their thumb anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. You know what? Why don't you tell us, Blair? You got a thought on this?
How bad would you feel if your mom got the gig? your mom's awesome.
You want to
We're
work at a
gonna hire
bakery?
you.
Like, I'm 48, but sure. I'm wondering, what have you done for your kids that they probably should have done for themselves? Let's figure this out. What have you done for your kids that they probably should have done for themselves? I just admitted it. My mom wrote my grade 4 speech, which I won the whole competition based off her speech.
Like I helped my daughter. She was trying to get into a high school for arts. I helped her with a project. I didn't do it for her because I knew that wasn't going to do anything. But I helped her like put together this like structure thing. But it was her idea.
Right. But I think that's like training wheels for a kid at that young age. That's fine. But then at some point you do it yourself.
Yeah.
What's the thing you've done for your kids that they should be doing for themselves? Let's go to Meg in Oak Ridges.
Okay, so my son is 20. He's attending New York University right now.
Okay.
And he met this girl online. Obviously, you know, the young generation right now, they meet a lot of people on gaming and things like that.
Yep.
So they, start up a relationship, and they're seeing each other. She lives in New York.
Okay.
So
Long
she comes
distance?
every once in a while. She visits him. She was here for the summer for a few weeks. So it's a good relationship.
Okay.
It's her birthday coming up this weekend. And he asked me to mail a letter to her in New York because he doesn't know how.
To mail like an old school, like he wants to do something old world and romantic, like send her a handwritten letter?
Yes, literally, he did. Yeah. He's in New York University, actually, doing major English. So he's doing poetry right now.
Okay.
So he wrote her a beautiful letter. I don't know what he wrote in there because, obviously I want to give him the privacy. But he's like, Mom, can you mail it for me?
Oh, man, that's crazy. Okay, at least he didn't make you write the letter. That's fine. He's doing the poetry.
No, he didn't even. Okay, so the thing is, he just put her name on it. Not even her last name, not even the address. I go, Joey, you have to put her last name, the address, where it's going. Oh, don't they know?
Awesome.
I go, no, they don't.
You're like, son, this is a stamp. Let me show you how to seal it. That's
right.
amazing.
That's right.
Meg, thank you so much for the call. That is great.
No problem. Have a
Appreciate
great
you.
day, guys.
You
You're doing
too.
amazing. I love listening to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that he just wrote the name on the thing. Is this going to work? He just wrote like Jennifer, New York City.
She's doing it wrong. She should have called a carrier pigeon at that point.
Yeah, would have had just as much luck. That is awesome.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
This is my fight
Style. Yeah, we're silly. Okay, so you've heard of your love language, right? Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch. That's been out for a while. Everyone's like, ooh, what love language are you? Mm-hmm. Well, it's not just for love. It's not just for love. There are fight styles as well. And this was brought to the forefront by podcaster and former monk and now therapist Jay Shetty.
Mm-hmm.
The podcast. Yeah, so he's identified fight styles. And he used the example...
Like jujitsu? Wrestling?
Mixed martial
Like that, yeah.
I mean, if that's how you're resolving conflicts, that's problematic. So, like, he used the example about how, he said he is a venter, which is someone who wants to fix and solve things. So when he would get into squabbles with his partner, he would want to try and fix and solve things and vent, whereas she would go away and hide. She was the hider. She would go away and think about it for like 2 days. And that would make him think like, oh, she doesn't care about the relationship as much as I do. But that was just her thinking about it. That's her way of showing she cares. And she'll come back in 2 days with a solution. So once they identified that they have different fighting styles, they're able to solve their conflicts a little better. The third one, by the way, is the exploder. That's someone who wants their emotions to be heard, felt, and seen. So venter, hider, exploder. Steph, I ask you, what is your fight style?
Fighting is my language. So
Fighting is your love language.
Yeah, it is my love. I think like sometimes you need a good fight, and because people are gonna disagree. So it's kind of be boring if you always agreed on everything. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it has to be like an explosive fight, even though that is one of the languages, right? Mm-hmm. The exploder. Is that one of them?
The exploder? Yeah. So that's obviously someone who just blows up.
I'm the pyro. I just like fireworks.
So when you're upset, you just go light off a Roman candle in the backyard?
Yeah, and it's exciting, and then it puts on a nice show.
Are you all three of these? Plus
I'm
the
everything,
pyro?
all of it.
See, like the love languages, it's not absolute. Like it's shades, right? Like
it
you
depends
could be
what
mostly
you're
one
arguing
thing.
about. Like what is the fight about?
And there's degrees of a fight. Like there's times where exploder is like your break in case of emergency thing.
Yeah.
You might go to exploder once in a while, but it's not your go-to.
Right.
Right? I'm definitely not the hider.
No, that's my boyfriend. My boyfriend just takes off, and that just makes me more of an igniter.
Right.
And I'm like, where did you just go? Where are my fireworks?
I think I'm probably the venter first, but then I will think I'll replay it in my head many times over the next several days. Then I guess I'm a little bit of a hider. And then on occasion, more so when I was younger, I'd probably be the exploder.
Yeah, it's true though. When you are younger, your reaction time is like 0. And then as you get older, you realize that that's not probably the best thing to do. Uh-huh. And then you become maybe a little bit of the hider and the venter.
Right.
And then it depends on what the situation is. You might become the exploder again.
Okay. So like love languages, we can be many things. We're complicated beings.
Yes.
Steph's
What is your
added-
dialect?
What
What's
is
your
it-
dialect?
What is your
of
love dialect? Your fight dialect. And we've added a category, the pyro.
Yes.
I like that. So we've solved nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, by the way, you know what the first rule of Fight Club is, right?
First rule of Fight
Style.
Club is you do not talk about Fight
Style.
Club. Second rule of Fight
Style.
Club is you do not talk about Fight
Style. Oops. We blew it.
The Pooja and Grenade Podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI.
Legitimate question for you. Is it okay to neighborhood hop on Halloween? We're 10 days away, so you got to start thinking about it. Some of you are probably like, neighborhood hopping? Like, what do you... This is whereby you go to a different neighborhood where you don't live and you trick or treat there. And there could be different reasons for the motivation. I did this once as a kid. Steph, you are doing this year?
I'm going to do it this year with my kids.
For the first time?
Yeah, there's an area where I always take them during the day to see the displays because they have great displays. One guy has like all the killers from the scary movies lined up in his driveway.
Jason, Freddy, everybody
all
hanging
of
out?
them. Yeah, Chucky's there. They're all there.
It's a wild
and then
party.
in his that's in his driveway, and then the whole front lawn setup is also like all this gory stuff. It's really cool though, and my kids love always being scared. Plus, he does like donations to sick kids. And then I think also because he's done this for years, the streets started doing it as well, like his own street. And
Oh,
so
nice.
as we drive up there now, we see all these displays. But I want to see it at night. I want to
Right.
see how cool it looks at night with everything lit
So you
up.
could just go on a night that isn't Halloween. I'm assuming he lights it up.
I know,
Does he
we're
light
just-
it up like on the,
We're always so busy every night that
Okay.
it's like something we forget. So I think specifically for Halloween, I want to go there, but I guarantee
So
it's
you-
going to be so busy.
So you're doing it for the displays, not for the candy upgrades.
Well, we'll see how the candy is once we get there.
Okay,
but
I
it's
mean,
really
that's
for the
like-
displays.
That's like Comfort Interstate for dessert kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I did this once. My motivation straight up was the candy. It was twofold though. So Doug Gilmour, I'm obsessed with Doug Gilmour.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Etobicoke. When Gilmour played for the Leafs, he lived in a neighborhood of my buddies. My buddy's like, hey man, Doug Gilmour lives in this neighborhood. It's a pretty fancy neighborhood. My buddy's like, come to my place for Halloween. We'll trick or treat together and we'll go see Dougie's house. I was like, that's amazing. What a great idea. And it was such a beautiful area of Etobicoke, like super big, like mansions, long driveways. So you're getting less of a haul because you're walking up these
Right.
long driveways. It's less quantity, but let me tell you the quality, man. Like
Really?
the lowest bar was a full chocolate bar. Like you're getting full Mr. Biggs, none of the like ticky tack
Right.
Halloween size stuff. You're getting
Yeah.
full Mr. Biggs, full Kit Kats, full cans of pop. I'm telling you, Steph, one house was giving out watches.
What?
I got a watch.
Like Rolex?
Not a Rolex.
Was there a guy with a
It was
jacket and he opened it up and you got to pick him out?
That's a different
shady?
neighborhood. No, it was like a Superman watch in like a proper like box and everything like
that's
that. He was
cool.
giving these out, and they must have been like, I don't know, $10 each, but still.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
So cool. And by the way, we did see Doug Gilmour's house. His dad answered, and I'm a giant Leaf fan, so I knew his dad. So I was like, "You're Doug Gilmour's dad," and he's like, "No comment."
Oh,
and then I saw
wow.
his little dog. I had some pictures of his dog. His dog came up to the door. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is Doug Gilmour's house!" And his neighbors were like, "He's the nicest guy. He comes out, he says hi when he gets the paper."
Dad didn't call the cops on you or anything because you're
No.
acting super weird?
No, super weird. And I want to know, is this okay? Do you think this is offside? Should you stay in your own neighborhood for trick-or-treating?
I don't know. I always wanted to as a kid, and I thought I did, but now thinking back, I never really did. It was like a couple blocks away from my house, but that's still technically my neighborhood.
Like, it doesn't bother me because I've only ever been on the hopping end of it. I
Yeah.
don't know. Would I be annoyed if
Would you
someone
know,
hopped
though?
to my neighborhood?
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
And
I don't
plus it's
know.
Halloween, everyone's
dressed up. You can't tell if you don't recognize
You
the
don't
kid.
know.
Thanks for listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Listen to Pooja and Gurdeep live weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Only on 98.1 CHFI.
Toronto's perfect music mix.